Dog AC Show. Welcome to our second show, Big Dog AC Show number 2. Now,
it's a number 2.
It's a number 2. Now, that could be, you could think of that a different way, but we think of it as our second show. Yep.
Hopefully you get more relief from us than dropping a number 2.
A deuce. Anyways, we're here. We're hanging out with you. It's our second show. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff tonight. It's wide open. The one thing we will not touch on is politics. We're just not going to go there. They have enough platforms. They don't need ours. So we're going to talk about music, music in the 80s, music in the 90s. You watched the new movie. You've got a movie review.
I do have a movie review.
Yeah, what's the name of the movie?
The Ascent.
The Ascent.
It's from 2019, so it's still a relatively recent movie.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about that. Also, what I'd like to do is a shout out to a really good friend of mine, probably one of my best friends. He is my best friend. I'd like to do a shout out. It's his birthday. Happy birthday. And enjoy your Van Halen sneakers. He actually bought Van Halen sneakers that are like the Van Halen guitar looking sneakers.
That's so funny.
It is.
He said he was out on the beach though today, right? So enjoy your beach time. Happy birthday. I'm sure you're shit-faced by now.
I'm sure he's, and every cuss word that AC says, we're going to drop some coins into the box.
Is that every cuss word or just an F-bomb? Because now I really got to watch what I'm saying if I want to have any money left after this.
We'll just do the F-bomb. So
okay, that works.
So
that works
thanks for joining us, the Big Dog AC Show. We're going to be here a while. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to get into the rock and roll era of 1980 up until 1989. And then we're going to jump into the 90s, which I knew about a lot of those bands. Those bands were cool, but I didn't really know too much about them until I ran into you, and then you just kind of ran them all down to me. And there's a few of them that are pretty good. So we're going to do a top 10.
A few. There's at least 10 plus that are on my list that I think are pretty good. What are you talking about?
You think they're good, but if you have any questions or anything, how do they get a hold of us?
Okay. Well, our email is bigdogacshow@gmail.com. We also have Facebook. So like us on Facebook, it's the Big Dog AC Show. And then follow us on Instagram. It's Big Dog AC Show. Some of them have some of them have and. That's just the way I had to work it. Sorry, you guys. We're also on Apple Podcasts now, the Big Dog and AC Show. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, Listen Notes, and YouTube. The YouTube channel's up. It's Big Dog AC Show. So subscribe, please.
Yeah, so many platforms. You can check us out. A lot of things going on in the world today. Of course, you got to be safe and take care of your family and do everything you got to do that. It has been where we live, where the studio is. It's been extremely hot, extremely smoky. And, so nobody can really go outside. There's really nothing to do. We're avid mountain bikers. We like to ride mountain bikes. You can't even do that anymore.
Oh, no, the air quality is horrible. That's why we're inside, safe in the studio, with the air conditioner on, drinking our new beer we just bought.
Yeah, we have a new beer. We're going to talk about the new beer as well. Go ahead. What are we drinking anyways? I'll be honest with you. It's different. It's a lot different than the ones we've drank in the past.
It's a lot different. And I was trying to find a light one, so when we were walking through the store, I just wanted to find something completely off the wall, completely crazy. So this is what I found. It's from Belching Beaver Brewery in Oceanside, California. So that alone caught my eye. So I'm sorry, Belching Beaver.
Another word for that is
I don't know. Okay.
Yep.
And this is the Miso Honey Blonde. And I think it's a Pilsner. It tastes like a Pilsner. It almost tastes, I hate to say this, I'm sorry, Belching Beaver Brewery, but it almost tastes like a Budweiser, but it's got honey in it, so you taste the honey at the end. Yeah. So the first one, I wasn't ready for it, but by the third one, they're going down pretty good. So.
Yeah, they're not bad. You get to the third one, I think you're pretty good, and then that shot didn't hurt anything either. That kind of leveled everything out.
Also at the store where we found that, they had the 4 mini shots of Washington Apple, which is a shot that I would usually take at a bar.
Yeah.
So we got those. So we just had one of those before we started. So if I start slurring towards the end, I'm sorry.
Nah,
it's not my fault. It's
she's
his
not
fault. He
sorry.
wanted to do this shot.
Here's the deal. She's standing there while I'm checking out, and she's standing there, and she says, "Hey, these are pretty good." So I go back and get them because I want to get what she wants. And she's like, "You went back in and got those?" And I said, "Yeah." So we had a couple of those. They're pretty good. We're going to have a couple more of these that we're drinking now, but the thing is, we're going to get to rock and roll. I think a lot of people want to know what the Big Dog and AC listen to, want to know where it all started, and we're going to get into that. So
Why wouldn't they want to know what we listen to?
yeah,
They want to be us. They want to listen to us. They love us, right?
that's freaking right, or as you would say, that's
fucking right.
that's right.
Hey, that tricked me. You tricked me, so that doesn't count.
No,
for
it
my,
counts. No, it counts.
That shouldn't count.
That counts. And money, and every time AC, says the F word, we're gonna drop some money into the little bucket here, and then we're gonna donate all that money. So
to the beer fund, so
to
we
the
can buy
beer
the next.
fund.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
no. So stick around. We're gonna be here a while. We're gonna talk about the top 10, the Big Dog's top 10, the AC's top 10, and my top 10 is complicated, coming from a huge radio background and music background and everything. My top 10 not only is going to be the popular top 10 of what everybody would probably say, but my top 10 is a lot of different bands. So I used to listen to some bands that people don't even know who they are. So we're going to talk about that. We got a lot of stuff going on, so stick around. So we got this cat. This cat is in the studio with us all the time. She's in here constantly with us. She's up here on the studio board. I mean, she's an interesting cat. I mean, I've seen cats that just stand offish in the corner and do their own thing. This cat, she wants you to know she's there.
She likes attention.
She just
she's really calm right now. She's laying down looking at me. So she's already been fed. She already had her 8-hour-long nap today.
Oh, 8 hours. Nice.
She might be sleeping again here in a little bit with our voice lulling her to sleep.
But she's a rock and roll cat. She hangs out. She gets up on the amplifiers and on the drum kit and kind of hangs out a little bit. So
So you talked to our sportsman's guy, right? Our sportsman corner.
I got some good news. The Sportsman's Corner, we're trying to put this thing together called the Sportsman's Corner. And I think it'll work out. I think it's going to be fine. And I talked to Mountain, and Mountain told me that he's thinking about doing it. And if we can get him in here to do that Sportsman's Corner, I think that would be awesome. So,
I think that would be very entertaining. He's got a lot to say.
well, he knows what he's
And
doing.
he knows what he's doing
He
for
knows
sure.
what he's doing about when it comes to hunting, fishing, whatever. He really knows what's going on. So if we can just get him to jump out behind the microphone a little bit and have a little fun, I think it'll be fine.
Well, you'll keep working on him. We'll get him in here pretty soon.
I
We'll get
know.
him.
I know a guy. So
We'll get him.
I know a guy. So
We'll get him.
let's get to movies. You watched a movie this week, and you like all the scary horror movies, which I think they're not scary at all. So, but you like to watch them. So you watched the movie this week. What'd you watch?
I watched The Ascent. It's from 2019. I basically chose this because when I was going through Amazon Prime Video, this kept popping up. Every time I scrolled through stuff, it kept popping up. I'm like, fine, finally I'll watch it. The picture looks kind of scary, where it's like an upside down cross and like holes in the face and stuff. So okay, you think it's gonna be scary, right? So this is from the IMDb page. It says, after a series of disturbing supernatural events in his home, Joel, a young single father, comes to suspect that his young son may be possessed. The director is Perry Reginald Teo. I hope I'm probably messing up all these names.
Well.
I'm sorry, you guys.
That's all right.
I don't know. If it gets back to you guys, I'm so sorry. It stars Robert Kaczynski, Peter Jason, Florence Fave.
Nobody's ever heard of these people. But
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Okay, so basically, though, before I even watched it, I looked at the reviews on Amazon before I chose to. Okay, I'm gonna just watch it. Everybody hated this movie, and it got really bad reviews. So I'm like, well, I gotta watch it now because I gotta see if it really sucks or not, right? And it did. I'm sorry. Well, it didn't suck.
that's horrible.
It was just kind of confusing and kind of like, what? I don't know. And it didn't transition. Like, the ending again was somewhat different, although you can halfway through you kind of figured what was going on, but they ended it different and you don't really know how it got there. So basically, Joel, this young single father, they say, who is not that young. It's not like he's 20 years old. He looks like he's 40. So
do I.
Yeah, I do too. I hope I look like I'm in my 30s, but so okay, technically I guess it's young, but it's not like he's 18, 20, So anyways, he's got schizophrenia though. And so from the beginning, he's talking to this supposed psychologist. I don't know if she's from the state or what, because she's trying to help him keep his son. So I guess the wife died in a car accident or something. So then the son, he's taking care of the son, but he's schizophrenic. So she asks him for his receipts for his the babysitting, for his job, for all his utilities. I have no idea why she's asking for that. It's kind of weird. And she keeps saying, like, she's trying to help him, but then she's also trying to help him keep his son. So that's like a big thing.
So what's the name of the movie?
The Ascent.
The Ascent.
Yes.
Okay.
And, okay, so the reason it's called The Ascent is later on in the movie. The Ascent is basically when you are choosing the devil. Oh, like if you're possessed, you're basically choosing to be possessed versus fighting it. So that's the final stage, is the Ascent, is that you're agreeing to it.
You pretty much said, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, yeah, you're like, okay, cool, demon, take me, kind of thing.
All right.
So the house itself is fucking creepy.
Ding. Hold on. So now we got to put some money in the jar. You dropped the F-bomb.
Like I said,
put some money in the jar.
It's got to be some coins because I can't do dollars anymore. I'm going to run out of money. So, okay, I'll put some money in the jar. So the house is creepy as hell. This guy is supposed to be some sort of artist, but he also works for this auto body shop who only pays him like $40 a day because she never has anybody in there to get their cars worked on.
Right.
Makes no sense. Anyway, so he makes $40 a day at the car deal or the auto body shop. He goes home, he pays the babysitter $40. Actually, with the dinner that she made for the son, it's $48. So it's like he's making no money. So what? That makes no sense. But he's also an artist, and he makes the weirdest shit ever. He uses like animal bones with doll parts, and he puts them together, and he makes these weird sculptures, and he hangs them on the wall. And this is what the kid's growing up with. The walls are painted black. Everything looks goth. And no idea why that is either. So the kid starts seeing these weird things, and the father is worried that the kid's starting to be schizophrenic because he sees shadow figures too, but he knows basically it's because of his schizophrenia. So he's worried about the son. So the dad, to help himself deal with what's real versus what's not real, he has a Polaroid camera, an old Polaroid, and he takes pictures. When he sees a weird, creepy body or figure or whatever, he takes a picture of it. So then he sees that it's not really there. I'm wondering, because I had Polaroid cameras too, I had like 2 or 3 of them. I'm wondering at this point in 2019, where is he going to get the film cartridges for the Polaroids?
Can't you order those online?
I don't know.
Like everything else, I mean.
I don't know. Are those still available? Because he's going to run out in like day one. What's he doing?
Yeah.
That's not a lifetime solution.
So it's not a good movie. You think it was good, or what's the beer rating on that movie?
Okay, out of 5 beers, it's only a 2.5, and that's generous. Like I say, the ending was a little different, but you kind of see what's going on towards the middle of it. But also, there's a second aspect to this, because ultimately they get an exorcism done to the son.
Right.
Okay. So the priest that ends up coming out, there's an older priest. He was in jail for murder because the kid he did an exorcism on before died.
Wow.
So they convicted him, so he's in jail. So he just gets out of jail in like the beginning of the movie, and he's staying with this younger priest. So then they go over there to do the exorcism. So one funny thing during this, because it was really funny to me. Between the like they took breaks in the exorcism somehow. So they
Yeah,
were.
well, yeah, they get a break.
I guess.
They get 2 10s and a lunch.
Yeah, exactly. That's standard, right?
Yeah,
you work 8 hours, you gotta do it.
You gotta get that. So
Yep.
Yep.
So during one of their breaks, the priest is like, okay, this is the final thing, and this is the main one. This is the choice between good and evil. This is like for your eternal soul. This is the choice. It all comes down to this. If you choose the evil, then that's it. We can't do anything for you anyways. So then the dad's standing there, and this whole entire time, all he's worried about is his son. He's like, oh, just don't worry about me. Worry about my son. Don't worry about me. Worry about my son. And they're like, okay, yeah. So then the priest lays this whole thing out, and he's all, okay, how much longer is this going to take?
What?
I'm like, what? He just said it was this big dramatic decision, and he's all, I gotta go.
Go.
Is this done in a couple minutes?
You guys deal with it on your own.
I only got a couple minutes.
Don't turn the lights out. Don't go in the basement.
So that made me laugh out loud, because that was like, what? He's so concerned about his son this whole entire time. And he's actually being a dick about it to some people, because when they kind of argue with him, he gets mad and yells at them, and he's like really a douchebag, and I really did not feel sorry for him whatsoever. He was a dick. And then he's like, okay, how much longer is this going to be? It's like, oh my God, it was so funny.
So it's a rating of a 2.5.
2.5. I mean, I already gave some detail, but if you want to watch it, it's kind of like, oh my God, really? Okay, sure. So it was somewhat different. And if you like Silent Hill though, because one of the reviewers, and I noticed it after I saw that, they did say about Silent Hill. So if you like the Silent Hill movies, which I do, some of the creepy figures that the guy sees, it's similar to that, where it's kind of fleshy and that the skin's cut and like there's no head or there's extra limbs or whatever. So there are those kind of things.
Kind of like the music from the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, is that the segue that we're going into?
Bands like Wasp and all that, all the heads flying around. We're going to talk about, I'm going to do a beer run.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we're going to talk about our top 10.
Okay, thank you for my beer.
You're welcome. Every now and then you got to go and refill the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I just took a sip. Okay.
What is that beer again?
Hold on. I just put it in my koozie. Let me take it out.
All right.
Belching Beaver Brewery from Oceanside, California. It's Miso Honey Blonde.
Belching Beaver.
Belching Beaver.
Mm-hmm. We're going to do the top 10. We're probably not going to get through the whole top 10 because you've got 10, I've got 10. And the thing is with me, I mean, I've got the obvious top 10, like the Crew and all these bands. But I have another top 10 that I listen to. Doing radio for so long, I just got tired of the same old songs being played from the bands on the radio, because radio will burn out the hits.
Oh, yeah.
So I always listen to different bands. So let me just get your top 5 right now.
My top 5. Okay. So, but just the bands, because I know you can break it down from band to album to song to year.
I could break it down to what strings they were playing on their guitars. Go ahead.
I can't do that, but
go ahead.
Okay. Just top 5 for right now. Okay.
Give me number 5.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. People are gonna. I'll skip to the number 6, and I don't want number 5 to be the one that I start out with. So Rancid.
Right. Yep.
I love punk.
Yeah.
We saw Rancid.
We did.
Relatively recently.
Yeah.
And they were fucking ting ting ting.
Yeah, I know.
They were fucking awesome.
Drop some more money in there.
I mean, they were really good. They sounded live just like they do on the CD. I mean, they were really good.
Yeah, they were good. They were definitely produced well. So
they were awesome. Okay, then Nelson is who I listened to in the 90s.
Nelson.
Dang.
I think that shot of whiskey's catching up to you.
I don't know how many tapes they had, because it was a tape. But I used to listen to that one all the time. I'm sorry, but that's just what I did. Brian Setzer Orchestra.
Yep, I get that one. Yeah.
I love swing music too.
Excellent guitar player, no doubt about it.
He is fucking awesome.
He's one of the best. Ding, jing, ching. Here we go. Yep.
I do want to try to see him. I don't know if he's still in Vegas, because he usually does like a New Year's Eve show or something. I've always wanted to go. I don't know if he's still doing it, but that would be amazing to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, okay, Danger Danger. I looked it up. They originally started in the 80s, like 89, but
Right.
the tape that I used to listen to all the time was in the 90s. It was 91. So Danger Danger, Rob Zombie.
I get Rob Zombie. I actually had a chance to see him when he was in White Zombie, and it was killer, killer show, killer stage show. It had to be because
Oh, yeah.
he needs a lot of effects on his voice.
He has
so.
some auto tune or something.
Yeah, he's got something going.
But his CDs are great, and I have like I don't know 4 or 5 of them.
All right.
So
Okay.
love him. And then Offspring was my number one that I listened to in the 90s. I have multiple tapes and CDs of theirs. I loved them. They were the band. I saw them. Me and my friends at the time, in the 90s, we saw them at least a couple different times. We went up to Berkeley, and then we also saw them in Fresno.
And that's your top 5.
Yeah, that's actually 6, but yes.
Top 6. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
next show, I'm going to get into my top 5, and I'm going to get into my top 10, and then my 10 other bands that I listen to on the side of that top 10.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yours is like a full show of just all, and then break it down.
Break it down, and we're going to get your other 5 too.
Okay. Actually, I have more than 5 because as I started writing this down, I was like, oh, what about this person? Oh, what about them?
Well, yeah,
What about them?
you know who the prime ones are, who the successful bands that you liked are, but you're going to get into stuff that you listen to when you're at home. That different bands that you thought were good.
Oh yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about. So the next show we'll get that done. We'll get into that as well. I think it's a wrap.
Is that a wrap? This is our Labor Day show.
Labor Day show.
We hope everyone's enjoying their 3-day weekend. Hopefully you're barbecuing, drinking some beer, having a good time, even though, you gotta stay at home or whatever, or have
Yeah.
some friends over, do what you gotta do. But I hope you enjoy your 3 days. At least no work on Monday, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing. And
It's a very good thing.
It's a good thing. So next show after this one, we're going to get more in depth in our top 10s, and we want to know what your top 10 is as well. So what is your top 10? What do you like? I mean, I know that Mountain, he's into the Leonard Skinnards and the
Molly Hatchet.
the Molly Hatchets and all that. So I'm just praying we get him on the show.
I hope so. And then you can tell us about your top 10, or if you disagree with mine, with a lot of people might disagree with what I have to say. Like us on Facebook.
I
You
always
can
disagree
can.
with what you got to say.
Thanks a lot. Hit us up on Facebook, The Big Dog AC Show. Follow us on Instagram, Big Dog AC Show. Email us, bigdogacshow@gmail.com. And of course, listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're listening, where you get your podcasts. And
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yep. And we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, Big Dog AC Show. Subscribe, please.